Good morning. Day 2 of going to eat cake. So, yep, this is another cake tasting I'm doing this morning at another bakery in Harrisburg. So I'm on my way there now. I'm supposed to be there in 17 minutes, and I think I'm just going to make it in time. Did you ever have one of those mornings where you just don't want to eat cake? Nah, either have I. I always want to eat cake. Life's too short to not eat cake. But anyway, the weather is like so dreary again. Like I said in another video, we had like 12 days of rain, and then it got nice for Mother's Day. The sun finally came out the day before Mother's Day. It was nice for Mother's Day. It rained that evening then, and then we had some decent weather yesterday until late in the afternoon. Then it clouded up. And of course, clouds again, and now they're calling for more rain today. And the 5-day forecast is not looking promising. It's chance of rain every single day and chance of thunderstorms. So the weather just, I'll admit, it gets me down. But I can overcome that if I try. The cake will help. The cake will help. So I thought, well, while I'm driving, I'm not, other than the cake today, I'm just going to run to Costco while I'm up here because I'm not going to waste a trip to Harrisburg and not go to Costco. And there are a few things that I need. Other than that, I don't have anything planned for today. My husband has a massage tonight, so my friend will be coming over to do that. So nothing exciting going on in my life at the moment. I feel like the camera's like right up my nose. So I thought, well, I'll give you a little bit of background on me, because other than my channel trailer, there is not a lot of information about me, like me, where I came from, and blah, blah, blah. So, live in York, Pennsylvania, in the United States, born and raised in York. The only time I haven't lived in York was the little over 2 years that we lived in Harrisburg for my job, and now we're back in York again. I said before I'm not a fan of York, but I'm not here to talk about my surroundings. I'm going to talk about me. So I am an only child. I was born to a very young mother, so if you've seen my mother on any of my videos, you will see that she is very young. She was only 17 when I was born, and back then when a man got you pregnant, you got married, unlike today. So my parents got married because she was pregnant, and then they got divorced by the time I was 4. My mom later remarried, 2 years after they got divorced in 74. She remarried in 76, and she's still with him, my stepdad. So you'll see him periodically in the videos. He was the one I yelled at on Mother's Day, or got yelled at on Mother's Day for burning the hot dog. So that's my stepdad and my mom. And they live like 10 miles from us, so they're fairly close. My father and they raised me. My father had visitation, right, my whole life, but didn't do a whole lot with him. I don't have a close relationship with my father. I see him maybe twice a year. He lives about 100 miles away from me, so yeah, we don't get together very often. Like I said, we're not really close. Now, we are going to spend Memorial Day weekend with him. He built a nice cabin in upstate Pennsylvania. He has like great entertainment space, and once a year he has what he calls his wild game feast. He has in a remote mountain location, and everybody hunts up there, and of course you eat what you should kill. So once a year he has this big thing where all the guys in the area all bring over some of the meat they've killed in the hunting season and had frozen. So we'll have everything from rabbit, squirrel, and deer, and bear. We've had wild boar in the past. So we're going to spend Memorial Day weekend with him. I have no internet up there. There's no internet service at all. There's no cell phone service up there. So like I said, it is pretty remote, but I will vlog because it's a pretty cool place that he has. So that's a little bit about my dad. He's been married and divorced 3 times, currently not married. So every time he's gotten married in between, I've had 3 stepsisters, then he divorced that wife. Then I had a stepbrother, then he divorced that wife. So you never know what I'm going to end up with whenever he marries again. So like I said, currently he's not married but living with a woman. I like her. And she has grown kids, but I don't really know them that well. Growing up, I loved school. huge fan of school, was a geek, was a band geek, played clarinet, marching band, concert band, clarinet choir, symphonic band. If I could play in a band, I was in it. Tried playing piano, hated it, wasn't a fan of the piano. But yeah, clarinet was my thing. And then my girls I raised as band geeks as well. Caitlin played the clarinet and Tia played the trumpet. So I also danced in our high school musicals. I took dance lessons from the time I was 5. You never know it looking at my body now, I know. But we all gain weight, right? Anyway, I started taking dancing lessons when I was 5. So I took tap, ballet, acrobat, and stayed with that until I was like 14. I think I finally took dance lessons. At that point, then I started high school. So like I said, I did dance in our high school musicals, which was highlight of high school. Loved it. Loved being a dancer in musicals. Didn't go to college. Met Mike when I was 14. Sorry, I'm listening to the GPS while I'm trying to talk. I think I know where I'm going, but I'm not completely positive. It's been a while. I mean, I used to live, literally, we're passing where I used to live. Like my townhome in Harrisburg that you saw in other videos, right there they are. So yeah, I'm kind of like back home again. Forget, it's not my home. Anyway, where was I? Oh my god, I forgot what I was saying. So I was talking about high school musicals and dancing. Alright, okay. So, married at 19, had my first child at 22, my next child at 23. Never went to college. I started working full-time in the banking industry. And then I went into the food service industry in management and stayed with that until my kids were born, and I stayed home with my kids. I worked part-time in the evenings at a local grocery store and at a local nursing home in the dining area while my kids were growing up, so I wouldn't have to put them in daycare. And then I got a bug up my butt at age 29 and went through like a little mini midlife crisis from age 29 to 30. That year was horrible for me. I felt like my life was over. I still hadn't chosen a career. I just was emotionally like a nightmare. So, wait, I gotta pay attention to the signs here. Where am I going? North 83, yeah, I gotta get over. So I decided I finally wanted to get a post-high school degree. And travel has always been, like, I've been fascinated with travel ever since I went to Spain when I was 15. The travel bug bit me. So I went and got an associate's degree in travel and tourism from one of our local colleges. Sorry, I gotta make sure I'm going the right way here. You don't want to get lost up there. So yeah, when I graduated from travel school, I started in the hotel industry, stayed there till my position was eliminated, and from there went to travel agency, and then onto the airline industry, which I think I had explained in a previous video. So I absolutely love the travel industry. So now I'm to the point in my life where, again, I'm not working, we're living on one income, but I miss my industry. I miss being in the travel industry. I really do. I got to see so many cool places and got to travel for next to nothing. So it's hard. It's hard kind of choosing this life. I know I've made the right decision, but I'm not saying I'll never go back to it, especially because nowadays I could be a travel agent from home. I'm just not ready to make that commitment yet at this point, at least till this wedding is over and Mike and I decide where we're going to settle down. So that's just a little bit of background on me. Again, nothing real exciting. Never had any major traumas in my life. I was a typical geeky kid, had some broken bones and some stitches, but no major illnesses. Always been relatively healthy other than that whole female region, which we've discussed before. So I'm about 5 miles from where I'm going to taste these cakes, so I better get off of here and concentrate because I'm going to have to be getting off the highway soon. So I'll get back to you. Ooh la la, that is nice. Hi, I have a 10 o'clock appointment. Nothing better than cake for breakfast.
Good. Since the weather is yucky and it's supposed to get down in the 40s tonight, I think this calls for comfort food. So I'm going to throw a chicken in the oven. So we're going to have roast chicken and mashed potatoes and gravy and some kind of vegetable. So that just sounds yucky on a cold, rainy day. So all I did was wash my chicken real good, season it real well with salt and pepper and onion salt and celery salt, and I'm just going to cover this and throw it in the oven. Hey, so dinner's well underway. Chicken is almost done. I just took the chicken out of the oven and I drained the juice off of it and put it into a saucepan. So there's the juice. And what I'm going to do is use that to make gravy. I know homemade gravy intimidates a lot of women, so this is just how I make it. Again, I apologize because I don't measure anything. But all you're doing is mixing flour and water together till it's nice and smooth and slowly stirring it in your gravy. Now, I'm not ready to make my gravy yet, but I am going to get my flour and water mixture ready ahead of time because you can do that. So all I'm doing is using a measuring cup. You can use any kind of coffee mug, anything you want, whatever's easiest for you to use a whisk and beat it up in. So for the flour, I don't know, maybe a cup and a half, I'm going to guess. And then the water that you're using, you don't want super hot water, but you don't want ice cold water. You want a nice lukewarm to cool water. And we're just going to pour water in there. About the same, well, I probably added a good cup of water. And we're going to whisk this together till it's just a nice smooth consistency. And that's it. I got some flour stuck at the bottom there. You don't want it thick and pasty, but you don't want it watery either. And I'm just going to let that sit. And when it's time to do my gravy, I'll show you what I do then. So my potatoes are on the stove. They haven't come to a boil yet. So they're just, it's like only 25. My husband comes home like 5:30. So they're soon going to start boiling. So I can't make my gravy quite yet, but pretty soon. And I hope that the time goes fast because I'm starving. I feel like I'm always starving. I just love to eat. That's all. Okay, so I'm getting ready to start the gravy. So, excuse me. All I've done at this point is I have my broth that I drained off my chicken on a medium to medium-low heat. You don't want this boiling. If this juice is boiling, when you try to add your flour and water mixture, you're going to end up with a clumpy mess. So you just want it medium-low heat. It's still, you know, pretty warm from being on the chicken. It's not like it sat here and got cold, but it's also not, you know, scalding hot either. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly just start whisking that flour and water mixture into the broth. And again, there's no real measuring when it comes to this. At least I don't know how to measure it. I just slowly add the flour and water till I think it's thick enough. And then if you have to throw some flour and water away, you have to throw some away. What is it, a half a cent? So it's not a big deal to have to throw some of it away. And then keep in mind, as this cooks, it's also going to get even thicker. That's good. I'm going to pick up the camera and bring it down here. Alright, so here's the gravy. And it'll, again, start to thicken as it continues to heat up. And what I'm going to do at this point is I just taste it to see if it needs anything. If it needs more chicken flavor, I'll add some chicken bouillon to it. Salt, pepper, maybe some onion and celery salt. I've even seen some women put yellow food coloring in their chicken and turkey gravy just to make it look more rich. I don't. I just choose not to add the fake color to it. But I am going to test it to see if it needs any seasoning. In the meantime, my potatoes are just cooking away here, so dinner's coming together. All right, gravy is done. Chicken is done. Lima beans are done. Potatoes are being mashed. And my secret to fabulous mashed potatoes is this. I use half and half coffee cream. It makes them richer than just using regular old milk. Also, if you want an even cheaper alternative, and something that you can keep in your pantry at all times, I've also used canned evaporated milk as well. Again, it just makes for a much creamier mashed potato. So in the potatoes right now I just have salt and pepper and butter, so I'm going to heat my half and half in the microwave and get that out. Alright, so I've added a good cup and a half of half and half. Just going to let those mix up for a little bit and then I'll check the consistency. Just a hair thinner. And keep in mind too, you can always make them a little looser because as they sit, you know how mashed potatoes get, they thicken up like wallpaper paste. And I just heard the door. Mike's home, just in time. I love mashed potatoes and gravy, but dang, it just makes a mess of the kitchen. Finally, 7 o'clock, I'm finally cleaned up from dinner.